Next week is going to be huge. What's up? My name is Renis, and I want to talk about the markets and about the fundamentals that are happening in the world. But before we dive in, just a quick heads up, I'm not a financial advisor. Anything you see in this video isn't a financial advice. I'm just a guy sitting in a room and talking about the markets. So let's dive in. So going into the markets, starting off with crypto, we can see that crypto hasn't performed bullish. It's still on the bearish side, making new lower lows and lower highs. But if we go into a daily time frame, it has been sitting in this bottom for a while. Ethereum as well, Solana, Bitcoin, and maybe some altcoins has been pushing more to the upside than to the downside. But those are just few coins, and that's not a leading decision where markets are heading. Right now, I'm looking at Bitcoin, Solana, and Ethereum and using them as the main indicators about where the crypto markets are heading. Right now, everything is consolidating, waiting for the next week and seeking some kind of a price action, more to the upside or to the downside. Right now, I'm not sitting in bearish or bullish side for the markets. Right now, I'm just following up along all the fundamental events and trying to figure out what will happen in upcoming days. Right now, crypto markets are technically bearish, but that's totally fine. Me as day trader, I can sell the markets and buy the markets, so it's no biggie for me. But still, it's sad to see that crypto markets aren't performing when they should. Going into gold, last week was super green. Together with Rocket Trading Club, we closed this week on a green note, and that's all it matters. For me, Friday was on break even with plus €3, but that's totally fine. There was a beautiful trade that we took on 2-hour imbalance right here. This was the trade that set me back to break even on Friday. 2-hour imbalance holding really cleanly above the support. We took longs and longed it until 50 moving average. And going into gold on technical side, last week gold tested this weekly imbalance and closed weekly candle with a nice wick up, showcasing that there are a lot of buyers from this area. If this maintains and the next week is green, this could be a nice bottom that happened in gold, and we could see some potential price action more to the upside than to the downside. But we cannot predict anything. We aren't predicting nothing right now, waiting what will happen in upcoming week. But for now, there is this kind of a bullish momentum happening from this bottom that was this weekly imbalance. If it holds and makes new higher highs and starts to build a nice uptrend movement, it could possibly break the previous key resistance levels and make a nice run to the upside. On Friday, when markets closed, oil closed above $100 per barrel. S&P 500 closed with minus 1.7% and Nasdaq closed with almost 2% in minus. And that's totally fine. Markets has been rallying up since this tariff dump that happened in April of 2025, almost a year now. And there has been a lot of imbalances and a lot of key levels that should be retested before making continuation to the upside. And right now I'm seeking S&P 500 to hit this small CME gap that was formed after this big tariff dump that happened in April. And most definitely I will be in buys if S&P 500 will revisit this CME gap down here. And going into fundamentals, next week is going to be interesting. So basically on Monday we have Federal Chair Powell speaks. Then we have on Wednesday, we have ADP non-farm employment change. And on Friday, we have NFP news and unemployment rates as well. So there are going to be volatility in the markets, and that's totally fine. There are going to be bank holidays as well. So before the markets are opened, please, let's not push no horses. Let's wait for news. Let's wait for some volatility, for some confirmations in the markets, and let's take appropriate action in the markets. And continuing about the fundamentals, there are some news that I want to talk about. Spot Brent crude oil closed above $110 per barrel. And just 15 minutes before crude oil started to pump, there was this inside trader who made a big bet just 15 minutes before oil started to pump. So some kind of a manipulation happening in inside trading. And internet is suggesting that this inside trader is associated with Donald Trump. Hey, there is nothing we can do about it. All we can do is try to avoid these manipulations by using proper risk and money management and trying to survive in the markets as long as possible. Going into stocks, closing up the week, there was $2 trillion wiped out from the US stock market this week. Insane. Bloodbath. And this is something interesting that I found only this morning, that there are millions protesting against Trump to resign from being as a president. There are no opinions from me. I'm not in politics, and all I can say is let's follow along the situation and see how it escalates. But it's interesting to see that there are millions of people protesting against Trump. So, yeah, going into Monday, all I can say about the markets is I'm not trying to predict nothing. I'm not trying to rush any trades. I'm not trying to wait for market open and trying to be the first who are pressing the buttons. No, I'm waiting for market to open. I'm waiting for price action to stabilize, to show what are the directions that market wants to head. And then me and my team, we are going to take full action on the markets. If you want to join Rocket Trading Club, where we trade markets live every single day, find the links below, join the waitlist, and see you there. And as always, stay safe in the markets, use proper risk and money management, don't try to be hero in the markets, and let's end this year on a green note.